Now, since I'm on a time crunch and my Daredevil mini review didn't do so well, I'm going to return to the old style of sitting in front of a camera and just sharing my thoughts and opinions with you guys with some visual aids. Much easier and simpler to make. With that said, Jessica Jones. It's a solid show. It's a very well-made show. I won't go so far to say that it's the best of the Marvel Netflix series, but it is adequately made and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It is quite entertaining. The story revolves around Jessica Jones, a former superhero turned private investigator who really doesn't give a shit about anybody, which is kind of surprising because she is a private investigator. You'd think she would actually care about the people that she's assisting, but that's neither here nor there. She takes on a case where she has to find this woman's daughter, finds the daughter with somebody from her past by the name of Kilgrave, aka the Purple Man, and now she's dealing with the trauma and the memories of when she spent time with him and all the trouble and hardship she dealt with that character, as well as trying to bring him down so that he never hurts another person again. Now, before I saw the show back in 2015, I knew very little about Jessica Jones. The few things I did know about her was that she was married to another superhero named Luke Cage, who is also in this show, and I'm glad that they put him in this show. She's a very vital part to her character. I also knew that she can fly, which I'm angry that the show didn't make her fly. I guess, you know, budget reasons, and maybe it would look silly to see this woman just flying through the air like she's Supergirl or something. I didn't really have much expectations for the show. I was just kind of looking forward to it. I really love Daredevil, so I had confidence that this one would be good. The only problem I had is that the person who created this show is Melissa Rosenberg. And if you're not familiar with that name, she was a prevalent writer on Dexter. Okay, good. But also wrote the Twilight series. Fuck. So I got a little concerned that they hired her to be the showrunner for Jessica Jones, and I thought it was gonna be like the same shit I saw from Twilight. Thankfully, it's not. It's a well put together show. The writing is very solid. The characters are really good. The acting is really good as well. Some of the standout things I really liked about the show is the fact that it's not really a typical superhero show. There's not much action in this show, which at first really bothered me because I don't really watch superhero shows for the drama or for the dialogue scenes and oh, woe is me. I like to see some spectacle. You know, if I want to see a drama, I'll find a drama on Netflix. There are a bunch of them there. But I thought the drama was very well handled and the things that they addressed in the show were good. Like, one of the things I heard after the show first premiered is that the relationship that Jessica Jones had with Kilgrave is kind of like a very abusive relationship. In fact, a lot of people were saying that the whole issue of saying, oh, he forced me to do something that I didn't want to do is kind of a parallel to rape, and I do agree with that. And there was a very interesting scene between Jessica Jones and this one cop guy, this very militaristic guy, where he kind of expressed how he felt being out of control, doing all these things against his own will, and that whole relationship between him and Jessica Jones is very interesting, and I liked how they fleshed this human character out, so that later on when he does the things that he does, which is, yeah, it's very questionable, you at least understand where he's coming from and why he's acting the way that he does. I actually respected that. The relationships in the show are very good. Jessica Jones' relationship with Trish, I really like the dynamic between them. I liked her relationship with Luke Cage. The minute I saw these two characters together, I'm like, oh yes, this is why I wanted to see the show. Everyone always talks about like some of one of the best couples in comic books is Luke Cage and Jessica Jones because they have undeniable chemistry. And that's the same here. I thought they did have undeniable chemistry, and I like the fact that they can rely on each other because both of them are superpowered beings and they kind of feel isolated and alienated. They can't really connect with other people. Both of them have been through tragedies. Both of them have been experimented on. So seeing them kind of relate and connect with each other was pretty damn awesome. Now, as stated before, the acting, quite good in the show. Kristen Ritter did a fantastic job portraying Jessica Jones. This character that seems to give no fucks, has a very bitchy attitude and is very confrontational, but you understand that because you know that she's been through a lot, she's very damaged, and she doesn't really trust anybody. And Kristen Ritter just pulls it off in flying colors. She was dynamic, as well as David Tennant as Kilgrave, aka the Purple Man. And I really like his portrayal of this character. I'm not going to say that I like the character. There are some parts I would say that he's kind of sympathetic, but the fact that he forces people to do things against his will, I mean, that's just a scumfuck right there. I can't root for a guy like that. But I do like that they took the time to really explore this villain, his attitudes, his mentality, his motivations, what he sees in the world. It makes for a very multi-layered villain, and that's the same thing that I loved about Daredevil, is that this villain wasn't just one note, I want to take over the city. No, he had layers to him. He was dynamic, he had personality. The same thing can be said about Kilgrave. Alright, now some of the things I didn't like about the series was this character, Hogarth. I'm sorry, I just didn't give a shit about this character. I didn't care about her, I didn't care about her relationship with her girlfriend, I didn't care about the fact that she was cheating on her girlfriend, I didn't care that she witnessed the death of her girlfriend in front of her eyes. I just didn't give no shits about the character. And she's not very sympathetic, she's so bitchy, cold, and distant all the time, and the performance just felt very wooden and bland. Now, I don't know if that was the writing, the direction, or Carrie-Anne Moss herself, but this character, she really weighed this series down. They could have removed this character and nothing really would have changed. And I know some of you might argue that she does play a role as she works alongside Jessica Jones and gives her things to do, but that could have been anybody. It honestly could have been anybody, or it could just be like she walks into the building, they hand her a file, and then she goes on her way. We didn't need Hogarth at all. She's pointless, she's boring, she's terrible. Fuck that character. Another issue I had, and I know many people may disagree with me on this, was the lack of good action scenes. Now, I totally understand that Jessica Jones as a series is trying to be more of a character-driven story rather than an action-packed one. I totally get that. But at the end of the day, you're still a superhero series, and I was expecting to see some good action scenes, at least one good action scene in each episode. But sometimes it would take so long for them to get to a good action scene. And even when you get to those action scenes, they aren't even that good. They're poorly choreographed, poorly filmed, they aren't tense, they're not gripping, they're not exciting, and it made me just say to myself, I can't believe I'm about to say this, but can we get back to the drama? And before you even say it, I'm not trying to say that Jessica Jones needs to be exactly like Daredevil or have Daredevil-esque action scenes. I'm totally okay with this series going its own direction, having its own identity and style. But I would very much like it to kind of follow the Daredevil playbook, or at least in some way, shape, or form replicate it while still being its own series. You know, have a good balance of action and drama. Just like Daredevil. That's what made it so great, is that it understood how to balance both the action and drama masterfully. Here they put so much focus on the drama, the character development, and very little on giving us some spectacle, some action scenes, really entice us. I mean, I would love to see Jessica Jones kick some ass. And even though we do get some scenes of her kicking ass, it just wasn't enough. And it just wasn't that badass. But overall, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, Jessica Jones is a solidly made show with some good characters, solid acting, a great villain, a compelling story. Does lack on the action in some characters and scenarios I didn't care for, but overall I would say that it is worth watching. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. But I would love to know what you guys thought about Jessica Jones as a series. Did you love it a lot, or did you find it okay, or did you feel like, I didn't really care much for it? I think it's the weakest of the Marvel Netflix series. Comment below, let me know, and stay tuned. I will be reviewing Luke Cage next, and then Iron Fist, followed by my review for Marvel's The Defenders. So stay tuned for that. And as always, guys, if you'd like to see more videos of this channel, be part of the Black Critic crew, please hit the subscribe button below, like this video if you really enjoyed it, and I'm Tony the Black Critic Guy. Till then, peace, YouTube.